Test. Okay. Hi, everyone. Feel free to take cookies, brownies, beverages now while we wait to get started, so you don't get hungry during the show. So, thank you.
I'm not quite as tall as Ryan, so I got to lower this a little bit. So, Well, welcome everybody to the 2021 Grubbies. What an exciting event. This place looks great. And congratulations to everybody that's being recognized with an award tonight. But let's start with a few thank yous to the athletes, in addition to everybody that's being recognized, all the teams that participated in this year. To our coaching staffs, wow, what a job. To our athletic administration to keep things running. And you probably won't hear me say this very often, but thank you to all the athletic trainers and the medical staff for getting us through this year. What a crazy year. Many of our championship seasons were moved to the spring. Who would have ever thought that we were talking about sports being low risk, medium risk, and high risk, that we were talking about spreading germs? Practicing and honing your sports or your skills, not knowing if you were going to be able to play this week or not because somebody on your team was a positive or somebody on the other team was a positive. Could you imagine what it would be like if you had that pressure during a calculus test? If you fail, your team doesn't get to play. But our teams did great. We performed well. I was telling the golfers down at the Mines Masters this year, just think, we had teams in other states, and I won't name them, that wouldn't come to South Dakota. But you went there and played them, knowing that they probably wouldn't come back up here to play us. We had teams that set new records and qualified for postseason, so we did a great job this year, so congratulations. And we played when other teams didn't play this year. This all comes back to something about our school that we don't advertise very well. The leadership that our students have. Your leaders on the field, your leaders in the classroom, and you're going to be leaders once you leave South Dakota Mines and start your career. Again, congratulations to everybody that's going to receive an award tonight. It is a great day to be a Hard Rocker. Thank you.
Note to everyone there, don't stomp when you come up here. Well, first of all, thanks for everybody attending tonight. Thanks for everybody getting dressed up. Look at all these fine dressed engineers and scientists. Bravo to y'all. Thank you to SAAC for your leadership, getting this up off the ground. Thanks to Mike for advising and leading our leaders. Thank you, Dr. Rankin, for your dedicated support of Hard Rocker Athletics. Thank you to the foundation and the Hard Rock Club. You'll hear me say this more than once. If you're getting an athletic scholarship or an academic scholarship at South Dakota School of Mines, it's because someone before you is writing a check so that you can have a good experience. Thank you to our coaches and staff. And I'll double that up. Thank you to our athletic training staff. Talk about stress. Talk about stepping up. I mean, I remember those first meetings early on in the year, and I didn't think we were going to be able to get this done, but we did because of you. And we did because of the coaches. We did because of the athletes, your diligence getting through this. Thank you specifically, who I don't thank a whole lot, to Brad Bloom. Brad Bloom makes a lot of things happen in the athletic department. So I'd actually like to just take a second and maybe put our hands together for Brad. And thank you all to all of our alumni who support the institution both academically and athletically. And today and every day is always a great day to be a Hard Rocker.
All right, good evening, everyone. My name is Laramie Colvin. I run cross country as well as track and field for the Hard Rockers. I am a senior in the Accelerated Master's Program for Atmospheric and Environmental Sciences But as for tonight goes, I'm the president of the Student Athletic Advisory Committee, or SAAC. First, I'd like to thank everyone who is here tonight, as well as all of you that are watching online. We look forward to when this event can continue next year, when we can all be in person. We are very excited to celebrate all of the accomplishments made by the athletic teams this year. We know this year looked different from the past years, but all of our teams were able to overcome challenges and have great seasons. Each coach will be giving a summary of their award winners, as well as their team's performance during this extremely tough year and the determination that each team used to get through it. I want to thank Coach Sybrant. He's our SAAC advisor, and for all of the work that he has put in to help us reach the goals we set at the beginning of this year. He's helped in so many ways, from staying for really late nights to being the best sweatshirt folder I've ever seen in my life. Thank you, Mike, for all that you have done and all that you continue to do. SAAC is committed to encouraging academic success and creating an environment of support within the South Dakota Mines Athletic Department. This night is a celebration of all of our accomplishments, as well as to show support for each other. I'd like to turn things back over to our athletic director, Joel Luken, to present our first award.
The 2020-2021 Hard Rocker Coach of the Year goes to our head women's basketball coach, Jerry Jacobson. Coach Jacobson has done a very nice job building a positive culture of respect, team first, and athletes and others within the athletic department have all bought in. She has quickly become a great role model for her team and the athletic department alike. Coach Jacobson has created an exciting brand of basketball, which has been coupled with wonderful student athletes who are succeeding both in the classroom and on the court. Congratulations, Coach. If you get an award, you're getting a selfie with me, so. Our 2020-2021 Professor of the Year is Dr. Carter Kirk. Come on up here, sir. Dr. Kirk goes above and beyond in his role as an industrial engineer professor here on campus. He is a huge supporter of Hard Rocker student athletes and attends as many Hard Rocker sporting events as he possibly can. Dr. Kirk is on a first name basis with the majority of our student athletes and treasures his relationships with them. He is always willing to go the extra mile to help students with their classes and in the long run find lifelong jobs for them. Thank you, Dr. Kirk, for your dedicated support of South Dakota School Mines and Hard Rocker athletics. I have a story I want to tell you about Dr. Kirk. This was a soccer game a couple years ago, 3 years ago. It was warm. The Rowdy Rockers were cooking. I think it was a Sunday afternoon, wasn't it? Sunday afternoon. Dr. Kirk went and got himself a chicken sandwich with some barbecue sauce on it, some sweet barbecue sauce, and he's sitting there talking to me. We're sitting there talking, and we're having a good time, and all of a sudden, Dr. Kirk takes a bite of his chicken sandwich. What happened next? He got bit by a bee. Now, Dr. Kirk's tough. He stuck it out. He stayed for the game, and by the end of the game, his lips and his face were so swollen up, and he looked at me at the end, he's like, "Is there anything wrong with me?" I said, "I think you need to go see a doctor." "You called your sister or your daughter?" Your daughter's a doctor, and she told you to go get some Benadryl?" I mean, his bottom lip was like 3 times the size of what it looks like right now. Dr. Kirk, you're an amazing individual. I appreciate everything you do for Hard Rocker Athletics. I appreciate you coming into my office and getting me off of my rear to go play racquetball. And it's always a joy to see you come into our building. Congratulations. And now I'm going to turn it over to Dr. Kirk. Is that correct? All you, sir.
Well, thank you very much for the award. I really appreciate it. But I really appreciate the opportunity to be here tonight. In case you don't know, I'm the master of ceremonies, but I think this was all a setup. But I'm really glad to be here tonight, and have lots of stories I could tell you, but probably in another time, okay? So this is a fantastic night to honor our student athletes and our athletic programs and teams. It's a great honor for me to be here, to be the master of ceremonies, and to keep this program rolling. So the very first award that I want to announce is Faculty of the Year. But now, Bessie, I think this is part of the trick. Mike, could you come up here for a second, please? Okay. Okay, sorry about that. Just got to make sure I'm on the right page. And thank you, Coach Cybran. So Faculty of the Year goes to Carl Weiss. Coach Carl is the Hard Rocker Performance coach. He's been a great addition to the Hard Rocker family. He brings lots of energy and passion, which is contagious to the rest of the athletic staff and athletes. Coach Carl has made it a priority for himself to attend as many athletic events as possible. He's taken a vested interest in getting to know each of the athletes on a personal level. Congratulations to Coach Carl as being chosen as Faculty of the Year. Congratulations. Oh, hey, awesome.
Oh, I took that sleep. Thank you.
Congratulations. Next, Fan of the Year. This year's Fan of the Year goes to Tammy Schafer. Tammy is a huge supporter of Hard Rocker athletics and attends as many Hard Rocker events as possible. She always has a smile on her face while she is encouraging and cheering on our athletes. Tammy, her husband, and daughters have been connected to the Hard Rocker family for many years. Thank you for being a great example of Hard Rocker spirit. Congratulations to Tammy Schafer, this year's Hard Rocker Fan of the Year. The next award goes to the Donor of the Year. And for this award, I would like to introduce Maria Fossum Cadwalder from the Hard Rock Club, who will be presenting the Donor of the Year.
Good night. How's that? Did I do good? All right. All right, so I love these award banquets just because everybody looks so spectacular. You know, no ponytails, no nothing. You guys look so amazing dressed up. But it is my privilege to be up here today. You know, Joel made the comment that basically the reason why there is scholarship dollars is because somebody is giving that from the university, no matter what they are in this capacity. So I'm going to read this so I don't get anything wrong. Nancy Christensen and her late husband Jim and her family have been faithful and longtime supporters of South Dakota Mines. In addition to taking leadership roles within the Alumni Association and the Foundation and pledging their support to academic programs on campus, Nancy and Jim were also founding members of what was called the Old Jocks Club, which is a group that began in 1990 with the goal of pledging to endow athletic scholarships at South Dakota Mines. Even during this unprecedented time, after Jim's passing in 2001, Nancy and her family's generosity continued and led to the creation of the Christensen Hall of Fame in the King Center, which was dedicated in 2004. This facility has been a home to the prestigious Hard Rocker Hall of Fame induction ceremony since that time. Even during this unprecedented time in history, Nancy and her family have continued to support athletics with their generous gifts and their presence. Nancy still regularly attends football games and cheers on the Rockers, and her daughters, Vicki Franzen and Marcy Burdick, can also regularly be seen at sporting events and have both taken a turn on serving on the Hard Rock Club Board of Directors. Tonight, we pay tribute to the entire Christensen family, but we especially honor Nancy, who has been a long, sustaining force, a motivation, and a true inspiration for us all. So it is my privilege, you guys, to actually have Nancy here today, to be present here with these awards. So I would like the Hard Rocker athletes to please, everybody here, give Nancy Christensen a great round of applause. Yeah. So, accepting this award on behalf of Nancy and the Christensen family is her daughter, Vicki Franzen, who is also a South Dakota Mines alum. We'd like to present the award to her and have her say just a few words on behalf of the Christensen family. She's a tiptoe.
Thank you very much. Thank you for bringing it up. Well, on behalf of my mom, Nancy, who's down there, of course you all saw her, and our family, our sincere thanks for this award. She will be 86 this coming Tuesday, so this is an extremely nice birthday gift for her. The Mines has been a very important element in our family's life. As Maria said, my dad, Jim Christensen, was a 57 graduate, and he was a football player. And we weren't certain, but I asked Mom today, and he was the recipient of a scholarship. He got $50. And before you guys, I know all the engineers are going to get their computers out, their little phones, and see what does that in today's dollars? $484. It's not a lot. But it made the difference for him to be able to go to college. And both my parents recognized the importance of his athletic experiences throughout his college career. First off, Mom and Dad met at a Hard Rocker football game. She was on a date with a mutual friend of my dad's, and on their way to their seats, they encountered my dad in the end zone. The friend asked why he wasn't with the rest of the team, and he said, "I split my damn pants," and he had to go in to change. But that must have made an exceptional impression on Mom, because that chance encounter entered the lifelong partnership starting in 1955 when they married. And the entire time Dad was in college, Mom worked so that he could go to college and also play football. He did work part-time, but he couldn't full-time. Secondly, some of my dad's lifelong friends and buddies, along with their future wives, became my parents' lifelong friends. Some of the names you'd know, because you'll see Dunham Field, George and Nancy Dunham were lifelong friends of my parents, and others you guys won't know. But Dad also recognized his athletic experience was instrumental in developing his leadership skills. the ability to work within a team, recognizing each position has value, and these skills helped him immensely in his career growth. Now, as Maria said, Dad and Mom have both been lifelong supporters of the School of Mines and Hard Rocker athletics. Unfortunately, my dad passed away from cancer in 2001, but the term lifelong supporter did not end with my dad. My mom has continued the honor of supporting the Hard Rock Club. They both recognize that he could not have gotten a degree without the economic help of donors who never knew him. But he and our mom never forgot the generosity of those people and have paid it forward most of their lives. And we certainly hope that all the athletes here today will consider doing the same as they continue the legacy of Hard Rocker athletics. Thank you very much.
As we enter our team awards, as your name is called, please approach the stage here on your left and then exit on your right, and for also possibly getting your picture taken over here. So we'll have the flow going in that direction. At this time, I would like to introduce Chelsea Brewster, representing the student athletes, to recognize our Hard Rocker athletic trainers.
At this time, we'd like to thank our athletic training staff here at South Dakota Mines. We'd like to invite Emily Lawrence and Hannah Wendels to the stage. Our third member of the training staff, Alyssa Egan, was unable to attend tonight. On behalf of SAAC and the entire student-athlete body, we'd like to thank our athletic trainers for the time and work that they have put in this year. Dealing with COVID has been difficult, and these ladies put in an immense amount of time into the testing of all athletes and the notifying of the test results. On top of this, they continued to perform all of their training duties and kept our athletes on the court and field, all with one less trainer than usual. Thank you for keeping us going and keeping us healthy this entire year. We all appreciate your long hours and dedication to Hard Rocker athletics.
Now, for our first coach, let's introduce football coach Charlie Floor, who will be presenting Offensive Player of the Year, Defensive Player of the Year, and Special Teams Player of the Year.
Thank you, Dr. Kirk. Just to want to reiterate a lot of thank yous that have already been said to the Hard Rock SAAC Club. Really appreciate tonight's event. Obviously this is the first one, but can see a lot of big positives from this and look forward to seeing this grow. Also, some thank yous to Dr. Rankin, our athletic administration, the training staff, Monument Health, our strength staff, and everybody else that's involved with our athletic department. Back in August, when all of this started taking shape for me, being kind of the guinea pig in the first sport to see how this was going to go, all of those individuals really helped me out and our program out and the rest of the athletic department as well as the school. So I really appreciate you guys and everything that you've done. Also want to thank my staff. They did a phenomenal job of really coming in here first year. Nothing like taking over a new job, new position in the middle of a pandemic. Learned a lot about myself, learned a lot about patience from my wife especially. She really calmed me down, but I can't thank our staff enough, their wives and their families, for everything that they've done for us. Just a little bit about our football season. 2020, not the way I planned it. We came in here and initially had an 11-game schedule planned. There were a few changes throughout the RMAC conference and everything, so we ended up setting a 6-game schedule. Finished the season just playing 4 with 2 big marquee wins. We started off the season against a school up north and ended up bringing the home stake trophy back here to Rapid City, which I'm very proud of our guys for. And then the second win of our season was down at Colorado Mesa, a team that South Dakota Mines has never beat before. And very proud of our kids going down on the road. It was hot. It was about 75 degrees here, I think, or down there in Rapid City. It was about 10 My wife was sending me pictures. There was a blizzard going on here, so she wasn't too happy that I was getting sunburned, and she was watching my kids play football in a blizzard. So, we were one of 10 Division II teams to actually play games this fall. Again, that says a lot about our student athletes, our administration, and everybody involved with our program. I sat in Joel's office at the beginning of the year, and we talked about it. What's the season going to look like? I really pushed in a kind manner of, we need to play this fall. We didn't get spring ball. We didn't get the things that we need to accomplish when I first took the job. And, again, our kids, our training staff, everybody involved did a phenomenal job of getting us ready to go for those 4 games. So what a great year. Getting ready to introduce 3 awards tonight. I'm going to start off with the first award, which is the Offensive Player of the Year for us. Our offensive MVP is Mr. Jack Batho. Jack, come on up. A little bit about Jack Batho. Jack started here in 2015, long career. This season for us was, I think, one of 5 O-linemen that was actually able to play all 4 of our games this year. Really did a great job of leading our offensive unit. We averaged a little over 400 yards per game, which is a big improvement from the last couple of years. And then throughout his career, he's been heavily involved with the offense and part of an offensive system that has set a lot of offensive records. Here at South Dakota Mines. He started 28 games. This year was invited to the Hula Bowl, which is a big-time honor for him and for the school. He was one of 2 Division II linemen at that game over there in Honolulu. And then about a month ago, almost to the date, Jack was able to participate here on campus in the first ever pro day here for the NFL. So, he was able to perform very well for that, and we look forward to see what happens next weekend with the NFL draft. So our offensive MVP is Jack Batho. With him on the stage, it's going to make some noise. Our defensive MVP, Dominic Jackson. Dominic Jackson, senior DB from Arvada, Colorado, a huge contributor this year. When you look at the statistics, his numbers aren't going to show. But he was one of those kids that came in, day out, performed. We asked him to do a lot of different roles within the defensive side of the ball. Was part of that huge game down there at Colorado Mesa with an interception that led to a defensive for points for us. But had a great season for us. Really happy for everything that he was able to do in his career. He ended up playing 32 games here, 110 tackles, finished his career with 12 interceptions. 32 pass deflections, 2 forced fumbles, and 2 block kicks. Congratulations on a great career and the MVP this year. Thank you. And last but not least, our special teams MVP this year is Casey Knutson. Casey, come on up. Casey Knutson's a sophomore DB and punter, so he does dual roles for us from Fort Collins, Colorado. Finished the season with 19 punts this season. There were equal to 786 yards for a 41-yard average, which was about a 3-yard average from last year, and also had 7 of those punts inside the 20. And you guys know that come to our football games in the RMAC, there's a lot of field position that can be changed because of the weather and the conditions that we play in. And for him to be able to flip the field and make it a little harder for the opposing offense to move down the field is a big key for us. So, Casey, congratulations on your award. Again, appreciate everybody's time tonight. Look forward to seeing everybody out at O'Hare Stadium at Dunham Field September 2nd for our home opener against Missouri S&T. Thank you all. Have a great night.
Now we'd like to play a short video of head volleyball coach Lauren Torvey, and then Coach Tony Sunga, assistant coach Tony Sunga, will present their team MVP award.
Hello, everybody. Thanks for tuning in to our first annual Grubby Awards. I apologize that I cannot be there in person, but I'm very excited to recap our volleyball season with you. Hello, everybody. Thanks for tuning in to our first annual Grubby Awards. I apologize that I cannot be there in person, but I'm very excited to recap our volleyball season with you remotely. First off, I want to thank Coach Seibert and all of SAAC for creating this fantastic event for the first time ever. It's so exciting to be able to celebrate our sports, our teams, our coaches, and our athletes all in one space, because especially after this year, I think we deserve to be celebrated. Hello, everybody. Thanks for tuning in to our first annual Looking back on our volleyball season, I apologize that I cannot be there in 2020, but I'm very excited to recap our volleyball really crazy year. We all kind of experienced together this. First off, I want to thank Coach Seibert and all of SAAC for really adverse creating this fantastic event. Finding out our season was canceled and having to be able to celebrate our sports, our teams, our coaches tirelessly for 8 months in one space, because especially after this year, I think we deserve to be celebrated thrown at us. And so, looking back on our volleyball season, created a lot of good memories. But obviously, once spring came and January came, we got to start our season and do the things we try to do in the RMAC and what we're trying to accomplish. It was a really fun year. We had, by all means, a normal season. None of our games were really canceled due to COVID, except for the very end. But we're very grateful and thankful for the opportunities we had to play. We felt like this was a huge growth season for this particular team. In any rebuilding situation, year 3 is really important. And I think that this team, above all, really proved what we're capable of doing in the future and kind of set the tone for what we're going to be and what this program is going to be in the future. So we definitely had a lot of ups and downs throughout the season, but we finished the season 7th in conference, which qualified us for the RMAC tournament, which was our first playoffs ever, RMAC playoffs for this program. And obviously finishing in 7th was a huge feat for us. We had a lot of injuries. We ran a lot of different lineups. We had a lot of challenges along the way, but we really earned this position. Our women worked incredibly hard to finish where they finished. Unfortunately, as most of you know, we weren't able to compete in the playoffs due to COVID, but thus is the year that we're in, and not a whole lot of regrets, just a lot of gratitude for what we were able to accomplish. So really exciting season for us. If anything, we are keeping that big chip that's been on our shoulder for a couple of years, and so moving forward, we plan on making the tournament every year, and that's what we want to accomplish moving forward. For the end of this season, we had 4 women named to the all-conference team. Cheyenne, Bastian, Hannah Thomas, and Lily Bartling were named to honorable mention, and JC Kothi was named to second team all-conference. JC had a incredible standout sophomore year. She finished 3rd in RMAC in blocks, 7th in points. She was one of only 2 middles to be named in the top 10 for points, which, if we know anything about volleyball is it's a hard game to score a lot of points when you're in middle. So for her to take control of the game the way she did, hello everybody, it was a big year for her. So JC had an incredible year, and for her performance and for leading our team in kills and blocks and points, JC is named our team MVP. I think she deserves this recognition for everything she's put in. The kid is incredibly coachable. She's a great teammate. She's a fierce competitor. She doesn't like to lose. And I really think she deserves to be recognized for a fantastic season. And I'm looking forward to see what she can do more. So that's kind of our season. Thank you for supporting us throughout the way and being our #1 fans. We obviously look forward to getting back in the fall and having a normal season. Fingers crossed that we all get to be back to normal. But congratulations to all the award winners tonight, and I hope you have a lot of fun.
Next, we have soccer. Coach Ryan Thompson is going to present the team MVP award.
Good evening. First off, I'd like to say thank you to all the supporting staff, administration, athletic trainers, strength and conditioning, everyone that helped us out through this crazy year. And crazy it was. Were we going to play in the fall? Were we going to play in the spring? Were we going to have a season at all? We managed to move ourselves and kind of invade the spring, which was weird, being a fall sport. Our 2021 season definitely started out strong with a 2-1 victory over Colorado Christian in double overtime. As thrilling as it could get. The remaining of the games didn't go as planned. We struggled with travel, with key injuries, just a rough year. Ended out 1-5 on the season, but there were some highlights. We recorded the most shots in a game, which is a new school record. The most saves in a game, which is also a new school record. And 52% of our shots were on target this season, which is second in the RMAC. We had a lot of changes throughout the year, a lot with our mental fortitude, our competitiveness, and our team culture. And a lot of that is tribute to our captains group, one of them receiving the award tonight. So I'll jump right into that and not take up too much time. Brenton Brackey is men's soccer MVP. Brenton led the team in minutes, playing a total of 565 of 570 total minutes on the year. He's a leader, a mentor, a captain, and most recently was named to the All-RMAC second team. Brenton, congratulations, you deserve it.
Next, we have golf. Coach Luke Wheeler is going to present the men and women's golf athlete of the year.
Thank you. Good evening. First of all, I want to thank all of our donors, administration, supporters for this year. Without you guys, it would not have happened. Thankfully, golf was one of the least riskiest sports out there, so we did our season just as normal as we possibly could. So that being said, we had a very good season starting off. We had 2 individual winners for the year and 1 team win for the women, which was a Dickinson State invite. And 2 winners were Joey Vincent at the Dickinson State and Rihanna Garland at the Hard Rocker invite. So it was a good year. We got a lot of things to work on, and we'll keep moving forward. So that being said, for the night, our male golfer of the year MVP, Bryce Howard. He is a sophomore, junior, mechanical engineer from Muscatine, Iowa. He currently carries a 3.47 GPA this overall. This season, Bryce averaged a little over 75, which ranks him second all-time for the season average. He had 41 birdies in 16 rounds and is sitting number 1 all-time with a 76 overall average for the last 3 years. This season, Bryce had 5 rounds of par or better with his best score of a 70 at the Fall Mile High Classic shootout in Denver. His best finish this year was 3rd place at the Dickinson State Invite, and he recently just tied for 29th at the RMAC Championship down in Phoenix. Along with the golf and school, Bryce is a member of the Student Athletic Advisory Committee. He's always one of the first ones to volunteer whenever I need him to do some community service. And overall, just looking forward for another good year from him next year. So congratulations, Bryce. All right, on to our female golfer of the year, Miss Annika Schooler. Annika is a freshman from Littleton, Colorado. She's a civil engineering major with a 3.47 GPA. Very fortunate to have Annika. Little background with her. I got a phone call last winter, right before the signing or the last time you could get people accepted for the academic scholarships. Thank you to the administration and the admissions for getting this one through. She was supposed to, was going to the Air Force Academy, and luckily she's here. I don't know what I would have done without Annika this year. In 17 rounds they played this year, she had a scoring average of 84, which is third in the record books already as a freshman. Shot a low round of 77 at the Southwest Minnesota State Invite, which is second all time. Her best finish was second place at the Yellow Jacket Fall Classic this year. She finished in the top 10 4 times this season. And in her 17 rounds, she made 17 birdies, which puts her at the top of the list for a season record. On top of the golf in school, Annika is also the secretary of the SAAC. Congratulations, Annika, and looking forward to another 3 good years.
Next, we want to play a short video by cross-country track and field coach Steve Johnson for the men's and women's cross-country and track programs.
Well, hello, Hard Rockers. Sorry I couldn't be there in person, but we're still in season and working to secure spots in the RMAC Outdoor Track and Field Championships. I'd like to thank SAAC and all those who've worked behind the scenes to make this night happen. I'd like to congratulate our winners this evening and all of our Hard Rocker student athletes. This has been a year full of challenges and unpredictability, and it's been a privilege to watch you learn, grow, adapt, and thrive. I'd also like to thank Dr. Rankin, Mr. Luken, our athletic administrators, faculty, and staff who've been integral in making athletics happen this year. In mining, Hard Rockers got their name by being the ones to take on the toughest rock. They weren't afraid of a challenge. Like true Hard Rockers, we've persevered and innovated to make this year happen. This fall, our cross-country team got to help lead the nation and show that sport can still happen safely. Along the way, the men's team picked up their first win over Black Hills State in more than 20 years, and our men and women combined to sweep Chadron State College. Taylor Bright established herself as the #1 runner for the women's team and picked up her first collegiate win at Chadron State. Tim Dunham led the way for the men's team and capped off his season finishing 30th at the D2 National Cross Country Invitational in Lubbock, Texas, where he faced off against some of the top programs in the country. In cross country, we award our MVP honors to the student athletes who have the highest average place on the team throughout the season. The 2020 Women's Cross Country MVP is Taylor Bright. The 2020 Men's Cross Country MVP is Tim Dunham. Going into the school year, there were a lot of unknowns, particularly surrounding indoor track and field. Would we have a conference meet? Would we have a national meet? Who would compete? Would we even have a season? But despite the questions, we kept working hard to be ready when the opportunity came. The result was undeniable success. Indoors, Hard Rocker Track and Field student athletes set 30 new top 10 marks, including Jonathan Hopkins' school record in the heptathlon. And it hasn't stopped there. As we moved into the outdoor season, which is still in progress, we've already seen more than 50 top 10 marks set, including 5 school records. Ty Nickerson in the men's pole vault, Jenna Seiler in the women's shot put, Macy McClure in the women's hammer, Jonathan Hopkins in the men's decathlon, and the women's 4x1 team made up of Kathy Matthew, Erica Keeble, Vera Rust, and Cameron Scully. In track and field, we traditionally honor the high point scorers at the conference meet with the MVP. By virtue of his 3rd place finish at the RMAC Indoor Championships, helping our 4x400 meter relay team to a 7th place finish and 8th place in the distance medley relay, the 2021 Men's Track and Field MVP is Andy Ferris. Our women's MVP is a 4-time RMAC champion and a 2021 All-American, She's also a 3-time national meet qualifier who finished 6th at the 2021 NCAA Indoor National Track and Field Championships. The 2021 Women's MVP is Erica Keeble.
Next, I want to introduce the esports coordinator, Mike Vanderhayden, and he will announce his team MVP.
All right. Good evening, everyone. Before I get started, too, huge thank you to SAAC, Coach Mike as well. Awesome job. Administration, athletic trainers. We would definitely have not gotten through this year without your help as well. So, I have a few notes here. In case you don't know, esports, we do have 4 different teams. We consist of League of Legends, Dota 2, Overwatch, and Rocket League. So I got a few notes here. It's hard to keep track of 4 different teams sometimes. So for Dota 2 recap, we went 4-6 on our fall-winter Collegiate Star League season. We finished 7th in the Central Conference. The CSL this year consisted of 36 teams across 3 different conferences. They are still in practice right now for next coming fall. Overwatch, we finished the fall-winter season with a 6-4 record. We're currently preparing for a tournament to take place next month through June for that, and looking forward to that. We got a great group of young freshmen on that side, so looking forward to seeing what we can do next year. Rocket League, we finished our fall-winter season for CSL as well. CSL is one of the larger esports leagues that we participate in. It was the season was 6-4 for that, with a 4th place finish, which was great for us in that competition. We were in the top division for the CSL, so that was some tremendous competition on that. So going 6-4 was huge. There was 174 teams that competed in CSL this year across 11 conferences. So it's definitely one of the largest events for Rocket League on that. Key wins for Rocket League this year: Kansas State, Maryville, and Washington University were 3 of our 6 victories on that season, and they're practicing right now in anticipation for fall season. League of Legends, multiple tournaments throughout the league this year. Notably, College League of Legends, champions, CCL champions, College League, BTL is another one. This past fall, we finished 3rd in the CCL, which is hosted by Dakota State, so it's great to see that rivalry in state. And then currently right now, we're one game out for second place, which is great. So we have a match coming up on Wednesday night, so that would be pivotal to see if we can get that second place slot. And then currently in the BTL for this spring right now, we're 3-5. We have a match actually taking place right now, so I'm curious to see how we're doing on that front. So if we do win those 2, we'll be 5-5, and we're right in the mix for the BTL. So that's a quick overview of what we have for League of Legends, and I will just jump into our team player of the year, Gavin Eldridge. Gavin is a sophomore, a math major. He's captain of our League of Legends team. He is extremely passionate about esports, spreading esports throughout the community here at Mines, and also just overall in the greater Rapid City area. He works tirelessly on that front. He was the instrumental in our creation of our Grubby High School League, which is our inaugural league we created for high school students here in the greater Rapid City area. He also ran as a tournament admin for that, dealing with the high school teams, coordinating with the players, making sure the roster submissions. Pretty much the league would not have functioned without Gavin, so a huge thank you on that part from that. So along with the high school league, we have a young League of Legends team. We are freshmen, sophomores. Gavin is the only one with competitive experience, and so there were a lot of stressful moments, learning curves, trying to get everybody on board, but we've grown as a team, made some great strides, had some great victories throughout the year, and we're poised to finish a very strong spring. It makes my job a lot easier to have somebody like Gavin, so I greatly appreciate it. Thank you for all you do, and Gavin Eldridge. Yes, that thing.
Next up is cheer, and it's my honor to announce this year's team MVP. This year's cheer athlete of the year goes to Haley Carter. This is Haley's. You want to take the picture now? Okay. Oh, wait, you guys should be in this picture. Okay.
I don't have a coach, so.
Coach Carter. This is Haley's third year of being on Hard Rocker cheer team. This year, she was the stunting captain and was a big part of keeping the cheer team involved and active the entire year. They were still able to record some performances played on the video board at half times. They also continued to do workouts and get stronger in the weight room. Haley is also in her second year of being on the Student Athletic Advisory Committee. Congratulations to Haley Carter for being chosen as Cheer Athlete of the Year. Next, I want to introduce women's basketball coach Jerry Jacobson, presenting the MVP for women's basketball.
All right, kind of taking the same theme as everybody else, I just want to say some thank yous. Number one, thank you, Dr. Rankin. I have a lot of friends in the coaching world, and a lot of people didn't get to have seasons. So very grateful and thankful that we were able to have a season this year when so many people didn't. Also want to send out a big thank you to our entire athletic administration, Joel, and everybody else who works every day to, again, make our season possible this year. And the athletic trainers, my thank you to you as always for keeping the girls on the floor and working through a lot of different injuries. So really appreciate you guys as well amongst the pandemic, just keeping everybody healthy. Proud coach moment tonight. Michaela Shackley and Ryan Weiss were in charge of making the Grubbies happen. And so I just want to say, great job, girls. Very proud of you. I'm not going to cry. And I'm also very proud of Coach Sybrant, who kind of guided them and helped make this all happen. And I know it was a lot of stress on him, so it's fantastic. Great job. And then lastly, I just want to say congrats to all of the student athletes. You know, my favorite word to use when I talk about Hard Rockers is resilience. And you guys were extremely resilient this year, following all the different protocols that you had to follow, doing your COVID screens every morning. I know some of them on my team weren't so good at that. But like I said, I'm very proud of all of you for not only making it through the year, but thriving. I'm very proud to be part of this athletic department, and tonight is about you guys and celebrating you. So congratulations. You survived a pandemic, you thrived in a pandemic, and here's to moving forward and having a normal season next year and being able to be in the gym or on the field, able to watch everybody participate again. Okay, that being said, for our season, and my team can vouch for this, we had 7 new players, and we started off playing our conference games on the road because people wouldn't want to come up to play us up here in South Dakota. And for the month of December, things were not pretty on the women's basketball team. You know, from my standpoint, 7 new people, it was trying to figure out rotations and who plays well together, and it was a little rough start, but I want to give a huge credit to our team for staying extremely coachable, for believing in what we were doing, and that really paid off when January rolled around, and we kind of went on a nice little winning streak throughout January and February. I think one of the big moments of the year was when we went 13 hours to Fort Lewis. We checked into our hotel, and after about 30 minutes of being in our hotel, I got a text message that we were not going to be able to play the next day because Fort Lewis had some close contacts. So I game planned of, all right, what are we going to do? And then I was like, you know what? We're going to just have some fun tomorrow. We're going to go sightseeing. And so we woke up, we went to Starbucks. I made Michaela and Ryan put the Starbucks order together, so they got a little experience before doing the grubbies of administrative type duties. We got some Starbucks, and then we went and toured, and we had beautiful weather, and I think that was just a day of good reflection and good bonding, and I think that that really helped propel us in the right direction. We picked up a win over Western, who at the time was undefeated in our conference, 2 days after that. And then kind of from there, just kept on rolling. One of the big highlights for our team, we beat BH twice this year, once at home, and then in kind of a thriller up there in Spearfish. So that was it was a fun thing to be a part of and fun thing to watch. And like I said, I'm just really proud of our resilience and, like I said, our team staying the course and believing. I know I wasn't the most pleasant coach in December, but I was trying to make you guys come together, and maybe if that meant hate me for a month, then that was okay. But like I said, great season. A huge part of that success was our MVP, which is Ryan Weiss. Ryan can do it all for us. She can score, she can defend. She was our leading rebounder for a good portion of the season. And she was just a major leader for us. She was a big part of why we started to have the success we did, because she's very good at building relationships with her teammates, and just did a phenomenal job this year on and off the court. One of my favorite things about Ryan is I know before she even catches the ball, if she's open, that the ball's going in the basket. And Coach Cy is always right next to me, and anytime Ryan's open, I'm already celebrating before she catches because I know it's going in, and Coach Cy is always going, uh-oh. So it's fun to have a player like Ryan on our team who you know is going to perform night in and night out, but also is one of the most selfless, humble, and best teammates that we could have on our program. And so, that being said, congrats, Ryan. Again, congrats to everybody. Enjoy the night. It's your night, student athletes.
Next, men's basketball. And we have assistant coach Roger Trenopole to announce the award.
I thought I gave this speaking thing up a few years ago. So Coach Glenn couldn't be here. He's a family man, and he got to spend some time with his boy, coaching him this weekend, and I think that's pretty cool. So I also would like to just make some thank yous. There's a lot of people that make this thing happen. The administrative staff, Joel, Cassie, Seth, Anita, who literally bails me out every day, and all of us, Dr. Rankin, and also appreciate the battle they fought at the end of the year to try to get us to get the chance to still play was awesome, and didn't come out the way we wanted to, but I know we put up a fight to have our kids have the opportunity to play, and I appreciate that. And just getting through the season and getting the opportunity to play as many games as we did, it takes a lot of people to do that. Home staff, home games seemed pretty not normal because the football team wasn't there and the band and all that kind of stuff, but it definitely was awesome to play at home still this year. The women's team, staff, have a great time on the road. As an assistant, I get a chance to thank the other assistant, the women's assistant, Mike. He does a lot of things for me. He's kind of the detailed guy, so he reminds me of things that I'm missing. So I appreciate that. And all the women basketball players, it's great to travel. Even though we didn't travel together, there's a lot of things that have to happen together. Hannah, thank you for everything you do to keep our guys on the floor. It's pretty special. And Coach Carl, you were honored today. That was definitely deserving. You've done an incredible job with our men in this offseason, too. It's just been phenomenal. We're excited about where they're going to come back, so appreciate that. The Hard Rocker Club, Maria, Sandy, and everything they do to raise money so we can have the kids that we have, and I appreciate that. And I know Coach Glenn does, too, and so I speak for him. The season, so, we started with 9 new guys. So we had a completely new team, and, lost 7 guys to graduation, which is phenomenal. 2 kids went and played Division I, and we had pandemic hit, and we had 9 guys to recruit. So it was a crazy off season, and we just got after it at home on Zoom, and we're able to find some great kids that fit our core values and the kind of kids that we strive to have. And it's hard to know when you're doing it on Zoom and not bringing them into our great campus and getting them around our professors. I'd also like to thank Dr. Kirk. He does so much for our recruiting visits. It's just phenomenal what he does. And I think we have like 7 of our 12 actually that are IE now. So you've done a great job of recruiting, Dr. Kirk, from when you started doing help with that. So we had 9 new guys. We had a lot of things to figure out. Went into the season without any pre-season games, and we started out with, number 1 in the nation, Colorado Mines, and actually didn't really play that poorly. We were in the game to the end, but they ended up still pulling away and beating us by 20. And then next night, we go to Regis. We thought we really had a chance and really got blown out. And we kind of started the year going, ooh, maybe this is a little scary. And so, but we got back to work, stuck with the process, and the kids really bought into what we had. And the next thing you know, we were on the road all of December. And our men were just resilient, got a big win at Fort Lewis, which is really difficult to do. And that kind of got things going. We saw some things that we could possibly may get this thing going in the right direction. So at the end of the season, there were many times we were sitting 4th in the conference. And with that being said, it's always comes down to a half game here, half game there, and we ended up 7th in the conference, got an opportunity to go to the playoffs 2 years in a row, which is really exciting for our guys with 9 new guys, 6 freshmen. So we're really excited about the future, for sure. We ended up with such a young team. We ended up with 2 honorable mention, all conference, with Ollie Rama and Colton Mortensen. And then obviously our MVP, Will Dixon, senior returner, was 2nd team all conference. So that gives me a little time to talk about Will. Will is our MVP, and I want to just mention a few things about this young man. The first is the leader. Will probably isn't the guy you would guess in your locker room would become that guy. 2 years ago, though, after the Westminster game, we weren't playing very well, and we had one of the most talented teams in the conference, we felt like. And we didn't play well at Westminster, and we blew a game that we had won, and we just literally gave the game away at the end of the game. And we got in the locker room, and Coach was giving a little bit of talk and then kind of opened the floor. And from the corner of the room, Will stood up, and I can't repeat everything he said, but he said it, and he called some guys out on the team that needed to be called out, and he really took a role that you wouldn't think a guy like Will would do, and held some guys accountable, and that changed our season. That day changed our season. We got in that bus, some men got some things straightened out, and we went on a run. And the next thing you know, we were playing in the Final Four. Well, when everybody left last year, Will graduated as well. We thought we were going to lose Will. And Will made a decision to come back and get his master's. And oh boy, is he happy he did. So I want to we asked him to be a leader, and he said, I'll take that role. And Will became a great leader, not just on the floor, in the locker room, on and off the court. He had to help a lot of really young guys learn how to play, learn how to handle discipline on the court, and learn how to handle the locker room. And I heard stories about that, and I'll just tell one. There was a game where at the end of the half, one of our younger players made a really stupid play and was pretty fired up about it. All our guys are intense. They're all competitors. And I guess he got in the locker room, and this young man was just really struggling with that. And Will just looked at him, put his hand on his shoulder. He says, you know that was a bad play. We can't make those plays anymore. And that kid and Will became really close. And by the end of the year, that young man was playing at maybe freshman of the year type numbers. And I give Will that credit. So that's the teammate. And he was that way to everybody. The player, there's no one that comes through this building that didn't see Will constantly in the gym. Larry, the custodian, he would always step in when Will was in the gym and say, am I going to have to put a new net up? So Will was constantly in the gym. There's no one that I can think of in my 35 years of coaching that deserves an MVP award more than Will Dixon. Will is now graduated, finishing up his master's degree. He has already traveled to Syracuse, New York. He's spending the next month here in Canada with his girlfriend, and then he'll start his new job in a quarry in Syracuse, New York. So all the way through the phases, Will represents what a hard rocker is. And yes, it is a great day to be a hard rocker, and Will was a great hard rocker. Thank you.
Next, I want to introduce Coach Carl and Coach Brock to announce the male and female lifter of the year.
Okay, so first off, just want to thank SAAC, Coach Cy, for putting this together. Thank you to the admin for trusting myself and Coach Carl to move out here in the middle of a pandemic, to lead in the weight room for the athletic department. Also, I'd like to thank the coaches, same thing, for entrusting us to move from the beaches of South Carolina to come out to the Black Hills, a little bit of a culture shock there. But with all that being said, it's been a great experience. The athletes here have been phenomenal to work with, coaches and admin as well, make our job very easy on a daily basis. We've had a little bit of a culture change down in the weight room, and that all stems on the athletes. At the end of the day, college athletics is a people-driven business, and we have great people here, and it starts with our student athletes. So I'd like to thank all of you guys again for making our job that much more enjoyable. For the award, we're gonna go with Madeline Heiser. She's been great for women's basketball and just an absolute bright light for us down in the weight room. She's a very hard worker, does all the little things for us. So Madeline Heiser, come on up, appreciate it.
so I don't have the award. But surprise, the male athlete lifter of the year was Will Dixon for the men's basketball team. I mean, you heard a lot from Coach Roger. The kid was one of the hardest workers. You saw a picture of him. He's actually still up there. Not the biggest kid, right? But couldn't jump the highest. But I'll tell you what, he came into the weight room every single day. He knew what he had to do. He was always in communication with me, which I think is very important as far as like injuries go. So he was a great motivator for his teammate. I think he was like Roger said, he's a fifth-year senior, and to be able to do that for 5 years is a very big thing, especially for those freshmen coming in, having such a young team. So Will, that's the camera. Congratulations. Congrats in Syracuse. I know you're going to do great things, and best of luck to you.
Now for the final major awards for the evening, it's my pleasure to reintroduce Athletic Director Joel Luken.
I'm just really lucky to be standing up here. I'm really lucky to be the athletic director at South Dakota School of Mines. I mean that 100%. Found out a couple things. I think this is the very first time that I've seen Coach Wheeler without a hat on. I didn't know you had such a great head of hair. Bravo. Coach Wheeler rushed over here, much like the person standing up here talking right now. We had U12 softball. Coach was raking the fields right before he left to get over here. So I appreciate your help with that too, Coach. Another huge thank you to everybody who makes stuff like this happen. College athletics is a lifestyle. You don't get into college athletics to make a whole lot of money. Surprise, surprise. In case any of you are thinking about doing it, you're not going to make as much as you make as an engineer. So you made a good choice. But as Brock said, it's defined by the people, and good people make good things happen. So thank you for doing this. Our first recipient, female leader, Cheyenne Bastian, women's volleyball. Our male athlete leader of the year doesn't seem to be present, but we will. Do we have a slide up there? Michael Retland, football. There we go, it worked. We have co-female academic athletes of the year. And I know I'm going to get in trouble from Seth for saying this. It's either FERPA or HIPAA or something like that. But they both have 4.0 GPAs. Anna Thomas, women's volleyball, and Margaret Thompson, track and field. I also probably need to report another violation. I know Seth kicked Wilford Dixon out of the gym over the Christmas break because there's a 7-day period where you're not supposed to be in the gym. And I found Wilford in there, and I let him shoot. Sorry, Seth. Male Academic Athlete of the Year, Cole Peterson, football. Our next recipient is for Female Athlete of the Year, and I have a story about this young lady. This was just amazing to me. One night I was walking back into the Fraser gym, and I saw her on her hands, walking the length of the basketball court, on her hands, down and back. The Female Athlete of the Year, Erica Keeble, track and field. Our last award recipient this evening is the Male Athlete of the Year, Jack Batho IV, football. Jack, you need to ask Cole or have Cole show you how to shake hands. Okay, do that favor for me, all right? Cole's got a mean grip on him. Thank you again to everyone for making this possible. You crew right over there, fantastic job. Mike, fantastic job. Let's give everybody a round of applause again. You know, I go back, I think about my career in college playing basketball and baseball and how much fun I had. You don't really end up remembering all the wins and losses, all the heartbreaks. You remember some of them, but you remember nights like this. You remember the bonding on the road trip when you get canceled. Those are the things that you remember. I remember we used to take 15-passenger vans, and I used to literally grab my bat bag, put it in here, and use it as a pillow when we would leave early in the mornings, or sleeping underneath the seats of a 15-passenger van. There's no way I could fit underneath the seat of a 15-passenger van now, but I remember those things. You remember the camaraderie in the locker room, on the bus rides, and those individuals end up being lifelong friends for you. I am just probably going to get emotional here. I am ridiculously proud of everyone this year. The institution, the athletic department. I could go on and on and on and on and on. We talked all year about control what you could control, and I think we did a fantastic job. Those institutions who wouldn't come up here in November and December because we were, quote unquote, the wild, wild west of COVID, I'll mention it, Colorado Mines. You know, you'll hear me say this at the very beginning of the year. Adversity comes in all shapes and sizes. This year, the biggest form of adversity was COVID-19. My 12-year-old ICER softball team has defined adversity as anything that gets in your way or challenges you or prevents you from doing what you want. Being part of a team, being part of a family, those are the things you remember. Being part of a family helps you rally around and overcome adversity. They help you tackle challenges, unseen adversity, unseen circumstances, testing you, pushing you, your teammates, your family, all trying to break you down, adversity does. But you can rely on your teammates, you can rely on your family to help you get through it. If you stick together and you trust each other, trust the plan, genuinely care and respect, and love each other, you can get through anything, even COVID-19. We're not completely through it. We're getting there. Emily standing there, it's going like this. We're not completely through it yet, but we're getting there. We're planning on 100% normal fall, 100% attendance, and we'll get through it. I'm proud of how you battled, and I'm proud of how you handled the uncertainty, a daily uncertainty. I'm proud of you all. I'm very proud to be the athletic director. Proud to serve the Hard Rocker family, coaches, athletes, staff, and this institution. Thank you for allowing me to do so, and thank you for tonight. Have a good evening.
If you received a glass award tonight, if you just come up to this table, you can get a carrying box for it.